Afternoon, Aedin. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
You are very welcome, and indeed, welcome to the Business Spotlight, Aedin. Thanks very much for taking part. Could we start? Could you tell me a little about yourself and your business, please?
Yes, well, education-wise, I have a degree in start off business studies, master's in marketing. There was no digital back in those days, so it had skilled up a wee bit with the diplomas and digital, and just I loved that aspect where it kind of moved from traditional to that real where you could measure everything these days. So, I've worked in corporate side and worked for companies, and then fell into agency life about a decade ago. And I just loved that. I loved how diverse it was, how you meet different clients, different businesses, different sectors. So I launched my own agency then. Be 5 years coming up now in March.
Well, happy birthday for March. So tell me a little about the agency.
So we specialize in digital advertising. So anything really paid ads, whether that's Google ads, Meta ads, LinkedIn, TikTok, all the rest of it. But it's very, very, very specialist in terms of it's just that one small piece of digital marketing. But it changes so much that we're very, very passionate that we stick at what we're best at. And just with all the updates constantly from consent and privacy and new features and developments with the big giants, Google and Meta, that we find it works well to be kind of expert in our field. Very, very results focused. So it's all about performance. So kind of the conversations we'd be having with typical clients every month is, okay, so what did I spend? What did I get? How many inquiries? How many sales? And kind of really nitty gritty and return investment and growth. So it is.
So if you think back to March 5 years ago, what was the spark, Aedin, that led you to launch the business?
Um, I think, well, I suppose it took me a decade to kind of in marketing and business kind of to find out what I really loved, and that was agency life. So I had my first son, Ethan. So I think that was probably the definitely the biggest kind of spark that I thought, well, because agency life, there's no doubt about it, it's very, very fast paced. There's lots of different clients. That's no day is ever the same. It's a different kind of environment than working for a company. So I know that I kind of knew that that's what I wanted to do, and that's my career for life as such. But I thought I'd start my own and try to strive for that work-life balance. Now I'm still trying to get that, but that's what sparked it anyway.
If you're about to say there, and I've suddenly found it, Peter, I was going to say, right, tell me more about that. Where does that exist? Where does that exist? So tell me about your target market. What types of businesses, organizations really benefit from working with Grow Web?
We work with a real diverse range of industries, to be honest. From the likes of DFI Beds, promoting beds, to Villa Maria Wine, Aer Lingus, promoting flights. They're all active clients at the minute, but suppose you could say anyone with a website and an advertising budget that really wants to grow their business. But to be honest, we would any kind of proposal or new pitch we would get in, we use all the Google tools to kind of assess the product or the service, see what the demand's like, look at all the different channels to see what would be the best kind of medium for them. And that I still to this day, although there's so many tools and you can measure everything, still to this day, whenever we launch some campaigns, I still be saying, I don't really know if this is going to work. And and I suppose that's the beauty of keeps it exciting as well. But so although any kind of sector can use it, that, obviously there's lots of different factors as well. You need a good quality website, you need the right product, all of that's going to factor how successful it is. But e-commerce is definitely a great one for us, for sure. But we would kind of split our business as well, where we work on performance would probably be 90%, 80 to 90%, where it is sales and inquiries. And then there's that brand awareness piece for maybe new product launches and new companies getting their name out, that there's different things that we can do there. But again, and it's very quickly, Peter, if it's working. So it's something that can be tested a couple of months, and if it's going to have an impact on the business or not.
Fantastic. And what would you say, Aedin, has been your biggest lesson as a business owner since launching the business?
I would say surround yourself with the best people you can, even from the likes of, you spend an awful lot of time in work. You need to be with people that same mindset, working towards the same goals. Even that obviously goes with your networking as well, where, I suppose when I look back, it's quite lonely those first few years. Like more recently I've got into more networking groups where you do talk to people, or if there's problems and challenges, you have the right person to chat to and work through things. And I suppose with that as well, probably a bit of a controversial area, but with mixing family and business. But my first recruit was actually my sister. So she's in 3 years now, but I always picture her in as the 10-year younger model. She was a straight A student from Queen's and done acting, and she was in the midst of her career. But it was shortly after COVID, and I knew I had a recruit, and we got chatting, and a lot of the skills were the same, just with the, client focused, results, return. So she came on board anyway, and I have to say, I love it. I wouldn't. She's actually off maternity leave now at the minute. She's due back very soon. But I just love having, because as I said, you work so many hours of your life that I enjoy having her and that someone to bounce ideas off and just share the whole experience as well. So I did actually say to her when she's been off, I don't really want to do this without you. So it's definitely, that's worked well. So we've got a great wee team. There's 5 of us at the minute. So it's all about the people. And even just, I suppose, we did the first few years I worked from home, and then a bit of remote work with COVID and stuff like that. But we've been in the Scottish Provident building for over a year now. And even just that, the amount of people you meet, and, just all that just all helps. If you're having a bad day, it can be, when you start to meet people and they're looking out for you, I think that's what it's all about, to be honest.
Very good. And what a great big sister you are, letting your younger sister have maternity leave. That's very kind of you.
She might, she might, she might have a few objections with that, because there's still lots of WhatsApps go back and forth, and she's
Oh.
stepped in a wee bit here and
Very
there.
good, very good. So tell me, Aedin, what gets you out of bed in the morning and really drives your passion for your business?
It would have to be the results focused nature of the whole thing. I've always been very competitive. Even, from growing up playing sport, and got an All Ireland camogie medal, and done a couple of marathons and CrossFit. And my parents are both very driven as well. It kind of goes in the DNA. But I think even just that, like even on Black Friday when we were coming in November, and we have a whiteboard and we've all the clients' objectives and targets, and you're coming in and we're checking where we're at. So I just love that. It's very rewarding to be able to see the impact you're having on small businesses as well. And it's even just it's so busy as well in agency life, and you're always only as good as your last campaign. But I think when we were reflecting, I was kind of reflecting over Christmas and over downtime, we had quite a few client reviews and end of year reviews things, but there's a few that had said about, just they'd recruited and taken on more staff, and as a result of, the campaign's been really successful. Sometimes that kind of goes over your head sometimes. So I did take that on board. And there was 2 of the girls who were with me that day during the meeting, and they were really chuffed, just thinking, oh, I never thought of it that way, that the work we're doing. So it's just good to be able to measure and see kind of results that you can get. So that's definitely, that's what it's all about.
Brilliant, love it. So you're on a desert island. You're allowed either one podcast or one book, or both. Yeah, you can have one of each if you like. So tell me, what are you going to choose to read or listen to?
Well, I have a list the length of today and tomorrow with books and podcasts, but I always seem to go back to Peppa Pig with the 2.5-year-old in terms of books. But I do there's I've been following, or I've been to the Scale X Summit, and I've been following quite a lot of the speakers and things like that. I listened to their podcast as well. They have a lot of different guests and great speakers on how to, I suppose, just all those challenges and growing a business and processes and things like that. So I never get enough time, to be honest, Peter, to read and do those things. So if I was on a desert island, I would maybe try to get some of those ticked off the list.
And what, so if you could invite any three people, alive or dead, to a dinner party, who are you inviting?
It would have to be my uncle, Colin. He passed away about 18 months ago. Very young man, 55, and four children. But he was just a big inspiration. He was very, very successful in business. He's McGurk architect. It was his practice, but he won lots of awards. The Liam McCormick Prize was his most recent one. But I had actually worked for a while. Growing up in his office doing like admin secretarial work at 16, 17, and was introduced into business that way. And in more recent years, I worked for him before in a gap year before Australia. And then even in my when was Grow Web as well, my own business that I had been working alongside him. But he's anybody that knows him would tell you he's such a character. He full of life and just in business and all about his family and crazy sportsman. So I think about him a lot, just with, having my own business as well. He would definitely be there. And I think it goes without saying as well, my aunt, my wee auntie Maggie, she was Down syndrome, but she lived with us at home, my home family, for 17 years, so more like a wee sister. But she was always the life and soul of the party, so she would be there too. And I think those two characters would be enough. On to the third one.
Very good, very good. So tell me, Aedin, looking ahead to the rest of 2024, what are you most excited about? What upcoming initiatives for your business are you most excited about?
I think, Peter, it would have to be I mentioned there, we're coming up to 5 years, and I suppose just the nature of, starting out and, recruiting and keeping clients and all of that. The focus has been, I would say, 90% on our clients. So we haven't done an awful lot of promotion for Grow Web. There's a website was fired up when I started, and it hasn't been looked at since, which I suppose is a good thing that, we do, a lot of our clients have been word of mouth and things like that. But we've got a new brand ready to launch, refreshed logo, brand new website, and we've won awards recently as well across the water, 3 or 4. So it's kind of, I think it's time for us to become a bit louder and prouder maybe. So we're going to kind of move things forward as well. Just we've got a great wee team there, and Sinead's back in February. So kind of looking forward just to get out and about a bit more as well, now that we've got a good team and things have really more established now.
And if somebody likes what they've heard, Aedin, and would like to reach out, get in touch with you or Grow Web, what's the best way for them to go about that?
I was going to say go to the website, but wait till it's revamped. It's not the best. So you can drop us an email. You can drop an email to info@grow-web.co.uk, or the website as well. And there's inquiry forms, or Instagram, LinkedIn. And as I said, we would do that proposal, the research kind of phase. We don't charge for that. So we would take anybody that's really interested, or to see what the market's like and see if it is the right option for them, because it isn't always, but we would do that kind of work anyway. So happy to do that.
Fantastic. Well, Aedin O'Neill, I could chat with you all day. Absolutely fascinating aspect of marketing, and a great story as well. So all that remains is for me to say thank you very much for sharing your story and your time, and I wish you all the success that 2024 will bring and beyond. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Peter. Much appreciate it.